Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. You are about to enter into a wonderful month of June. It's the hallmark of a next 12 months of exciting prosperity, luck, expansion, and growth because of Lord Jupiter moving through your sign, but also Venus is going to be here and she's going to be making some significant Gemini magic happen for you. It's literally a feel-good month. And after those eclipses that we've been going through and everything else, I think you're all going to feel good, but you are going to feel the very best. Let's break this month down into all of the details of the planetary transits as well as day-by-day events for you to time your best life. That's my hope. If you're new to my channel, hey, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian, using a Western tropical zodiac, the whole sign house system, as well as fixed stars and minor asteroids. And I put out a lot of content every month. And so if this kind of stuff, all signs delineations, have any interest to you, please give me a try by liking, subscribing, and all of that. And welcome back for all of my regulars. So, this is a month. And by the way, the only promotion I'm sharing really is if you want to jump aboard my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter, early access, ad-free content, but also I'm giving away prizes in the month of May every Sunday, readings, courses with me. You have to be on that newsletter to know how to play in the contest. So Cosmic Moonshine newsletter, weekly forecast newsletter is in the description box below. Come join us there too. Okay, guys, every 12 years, Jupiter will enter into the kingdom of Gemini. I've done a whole video on this on my channel with a deeper dive into the meaning of that sign. But by far, this is exciting because in June, you really get to feel this sinking in because Jupiter enters into the sign of Gemini on May the 25th. So by the time we move into the month of June, you've got a bigger sense of his presence. Now, if you're a Gemini rising, and rising sign is everything about you, where the sun can be about your dad and your father figures and your career and your purpose and your physical vitality. And then your moon can be about your mom, your home, your nest, and your body. Those are what Jupiter will be interacting with if you're listening for your sun or your moon. But if you're listening for your rising sign, it's everything about you. So if you know the degree of your rising sign, and it's in the first 5 degrees or so of Gemini, then you're really feeling this presence of Gemini, of Jupiter in your sign, in your beingness during the month of June, more acutely than later degrees of rising signs in the sign of Gemini. Jupiter is like Santa Claus or fairy godfather or dispeller of darkness or the bringer of justice and order and wisdom and knowledge and goodness and prosperity and plenty and bounty and children. It's a fertility transit for some people. You could get pregnant here. It's also, you could get chubbier here. You could expand your girth. Don't worry, it'll go away when he leaves Gemini a year from now in the month of June. But it is an energy as well. You're carrying like hope and optimism and faith and magnanimousness and bounty within you. Life is taking on a beautiful energy. And because even as he moves through the sign of Gemini in June, he is flowing to Pluto, it really brings you into a deep place of power and empowerment about the true purpose and dharma of your existence. And you may really have a deep and profound opportunity for powerful spiritual alignment and growth in the month of June. My Gemini progressed sun is in here, and I'm going to be pilgrimaging to Portugal's El Camino just for an example. Now, one thing I would say is as this month proceeds, the next best thing that happens is Venus. Venus is happening to your Gemini sky because Venus on May the 24th enters into Gemini and does not leave until the sign of Gemini until the 17th of June. Therefore, you are experiencing her beneficence and grace in the house of you. So you're lucky, you're pretty, you're beautiful, you're charming, you're congenial, you're likable, you're persuasive, it's a good vibe. And so that is going to mean that the first couple of weeks of June, but it does start May 24th, you got a lot of a sense of a real glow about you. And you're also lucky, but you do have a glow. And on that window of time, it's not bad to take chances, to ask for favors, to ask for a raise, to ask for a promotion, to try to do something with that powerful energy that you are carrying, Geminis. And Venus will then also be accompanied as she's moving through Gemini by Mercury, who will be there from June the 3rd to the 17th. So you've got 2 planets here with Jupiter, not to mention the sun, right? And so it's a really busy part of your sky. You could look at the June, Mercury enters in June 3rd. Venus is already there. He leaves on the 17th. She leaves on the 16th. But basically, let's say June the 3rd to the 17th, Venus and Jupiter are tangoing together in the house of you. You have brilliant, beautiful, lucky ideas. You can communicate, persuade, market, and sell like nobody's business. You are somebody who carries a very social vibe, and you might find yourself presenting and being more sociable than you normally are, even though you're already a sociable being. And Mercury is in his home kingdom, and therefore you feel more in your own 2 feet in your own boots, like you feel like you fit your skin better. It is a house of his joy. He's strong here as well. So June the 3rd to the 17th, I'd say you are one queen bee of sociability. There's no doubt about it. But you also may just feel very lucky, very secure in your ideas and what you want to communicate outwardly, and very good about your appearance, both how you look and how you feel about yourself as well. Also, you are going to experience both Venus and Mercury moving out of the sign of Gemini. They're going to segue into the sign of Cancer, which is your money house. Now, Venus gets there first on June the 17th, and then Mercury follows on June the 18th. And they're there for the entirety of the month. So Venus leaves on July 11th. She's there June 13th to July 11th in Cancer. Mercury is there June 18th to July 3rd. So primarily June 18th to July 3rd, when both Venus and Mercury are happening in your second house. This is good for finances. It's good for buying something, selling something. This is good for your facial beauty. You might do something to beautify your face with Venus here. A new dental procedure that beautifies your teeth. Some kind of cosmetic procedures are possible. Again, you're seeing this beautification of appearance and facially, especially June the 18th to the 3rd. But with Mercury, you're doing what you need, signing on the dotted line, agreeing to certain things. Certainly can have you buying something, though. They're like buying something new, acquiring a new possession through deal making and negotiations. If you are wanting to get a new job or get a different wage structure in your job, you're getting support from that as well, with both of these planets in your second house flowing in a whole sign way to Lord Saturn in your 10th house. There are some pitfalls in this month ahead. I'll get to that a bit later. But for the most part, money and work and money and career matters are in a state of flow and positivity in the second half of June. Mars is moving into the sign of Taurus. That's because he was in Aries before that. So the next one up online is Taurus. Mars in the 12th house could be foreign shores travel, foreign land travel. He's there on June the 9th to July the 21st, or just a lot of travel to far off distant places. And I'll be traveling a lot with my progressed Gemini sun. He's also good at quitting addictions and bad habits and getting rid of them for good here, axing the bad stuff that you do. And he's also connected to matters of hospitals and prisons. And sometimes, we have in our lives people who are in hospitals or prisons, and there may be a lot of activity, focus, passion, and decisions being made about those kinds of situations and people in your life. If you generate income from foreign lands and shores, as I do, or many digital entrepreneurs do, or you have borderless revenue, from far off places, this is going to be a very powerful energy. Mars is in debility, but still he's taking action and making decisions around those matters. Because it's a house of hidden enemies and Mars is a malefic, just be careful that there isn't someone who does not have your back. You're going to see a potential blowout for a secret enemy coming to your awareness this month. And I'll be timing that when we get through the all signs part of the chart. All right, so let's get moving and do that. I know all signs, that breakdown of the bits and pieces that happen from June 1st to the 30th. Get a pen, get a paper. It's easier that way. I don't do the moons, the new moon, full moon in these videos, because I do big, long 2-hour videos sometimes on them every month with all sign delineation. So why do it again? So stay tuned for the lunar cycles. Definitely something you want to watch for on my channel. Okay, we're working on the transits this time around. All right, so let's start with the beginning, Geminis. On June the 1st to the 7th, the sky is highly, highly auspicious. We have Venus conjunct the sun, and that is a kazimi on June the 4th. That is a reset button for Venus in the sign of Gemini, resetting you, your goals, your agenda, your appearance, your body, your way of being in the world. This reset button at 14 degrees of Gemini is an event that may not display its full bounteous goods until July, when she becomes a visible evening star in our sky, coming out from under the sun's beams. But this is really a 4-year story as well. It means that over the next 4 years, she set a new goal for you. And this is such an auspicious rebirth of Venus, death and rebirth, because she is also attended by Jupiter as a midwife and Lord Mercury in his home kingdom, making this one of the best Venus star points I think I've seen for a long time. Over the course of this next 10 months, but more visibly available after July, you might notice very positive things coming to pass around your body, your physical wellness, your sense of self, you feeling lucky, you feeling beautiful, you feeling healthy and happy, and all these kinds of energies here. And as she does this star point, she's in a whole sign flow to Pluto in the 9th house. And that can be very much about, again, feeling really good about yourself, but in a way that connects to the idea of one's purpose or meaning of life. Getting in that sense of the groove of the true north of your directions and finding that alignment coming to pass as the star point gives you that possibility in the months that follow. Now, not just that star point on June 4th, but also at the same time, this is all happening June 1st to 7th, but around June 4th, it's really intense, where Jupiter is going to come into, and Mercury, they're conjunct. Jupiter and Mercury are holding hands in the early degrees of Gemini, and they are flowing to the planet Pluto in your 9th house. Well, there can be some beautiful, powerful opportunities for growth and expansion and success when it comes to matters of publishing, foreign countries and foreign lands, visas and passports. These are 9th house Pluto matters and what you want to do with those things. You might find that bounteous opportunities, powerful opportunities, transformational opportunities happen from foreign people, foreign places, and foreign shores. Pluto in the 9th house. If you want to address like going back to school, getting a higher education, going to school for the first time, applying for colleges and universities in this energetic field of the first week of June, very good things are happening for you. Now, we're going to move forward and talk next about June the 3rd and 4th. June the 3rd and 4th is, we just did that. I'm sorry. June the 10th and the 12th to the 12th is a difficult territory I mentioned about hidden enemies or secret enemies. That's because Mars in the house of hidden enemies squares Pluto in your 9th house. And this is 2 houses that can represent foreign travel and foreign places, a conflict on a foreign trip, a sudden change of plans, or not sudden, but a hitch or a glitch in something to do with foreign travel, foreign shores, and foreign lands, June 10th to the 12th, or some kind of blow up with somebody you thought was a friend or an ally, and then, very passive aggressively, Mars and Taurus, they're coming at you. But Pluto is, dominating that 9th house energy, and he'd be like, he would be like trying to tell Pluto something like, I'm on my path, so screw off. So Mars has got the lesser power here because he's in debility, but you may find somebody just doesn't align with what you're going for or wanting in your life, and they let you know that. And 12th house matters can also be father figures of the 9th house. I mean, a father figure doesn't have to be your dad, right? It can be some older person And Mars is in the house of hospitals, so there can be some health challenges with a father figure that are very intense and very powerfully life-threatening, perhaps. Just wanting you to know that. June 10th to the 12th. On June the 14th, Mercury will come into the heart of the sun, as Venus did, by the way, right, on June the 4th. This is a kazimi, and this is a reset button for Mercury. Magical enchantment. He's in his home kingdom. He's in the heart of the sun on June the 14th. Harness this energy. Come to my free Mercury kazimi webinar, link in the description box below, because you might want to use the meditations I'm going to give you and the knowledge of the sky to use this powerful day. You can use it for downloading new ideas because it's in the house of you, for speaking or sending out messages or emails because it's in the house of you. It's a really powerful energy because Jupiter and Venus are here as he moves into the heart of the sun at 23 degrees of Gemini. Of course, if you're a Gemini sun, moon, or rising, like if it's your sun and you're 23 degrees of Gemini, it's your birthday. But if your sun, moon, and rising is near 23 Gemini, within say 4 or 5 degrees, you're really getting a huge amount of energy, positive energy from this reset button and this divine mission instructions that Mercury gets on your behalf. Moving forward, we see that on the 16th to the 18th of June, Mercury will come into a conjunction with Venus. Now, everyone's hanging out in Gemini, so of course that's going to happen. And Mercury and Venus together, holding hands, are going to say something along the lines, and this is at 28 degrees of Gemini, let's make a deal, or let's have a social time, or let's seal a beautiful contract, conversation, or agreement and make it happen. And as is possible, it could be very literal. You may literally have a employment contract or a travel contract or some kind of agreements that are being made because of this conjunction. And it's a one-day event, so you want to really pay attention and use it. You'll feel a day before and day after, of course, as well. And again, June 16th to the 18th, game on. Well, Venus is coming into that conjunction to Mercury. At the same time, she is squaring Neptune. Neptune Venus squares can be starry-eyed delusions and illusions around love and romance, rose-colored glasses, but also about financial matters. And with this square, did I say March? Yeah, with it. No, what day are we on? Oh my God, my brain. Oh yeah, it is a square because Venus has moved into your second house of earnings and money. So from the second house, no. My brain is totally offline. Who's doing what? Guys, you gotta try doing as many videos as I do because my brain just completely shut down. Oh, Neptune. It's not Pluto. Of course it is. It's a square to Neptune. Holy man. Venus is at 28 degrees of Gemini, squaring, or 29 degrees of Gemini in your house of you, squaring Neptune in the top of your sky. So be careful for too good to be true career and reputation moments, okay? Or some kind of manipulative disinformation moment around money, around your reputation, and stuff like that. As someone who's a YouTuber, that looked like a really bad YouTube moment for me, okay, for some reason. So we're looking for that problem sky, June 16th to the 18th. But because she's conjunct Mercury, you'll get the news and information you need. Now, Mercury, of course, is also square Neptune. So that again is that deceptive, manipulative, confusing, untrue story that's trying to emerge. And it can be something to do with your reputation or things you're trying to understand about your career. Mercury brings our understanding online, and you can't quite get a clear vision or view. So wait until the sun squares Neptune on June the 21st, because the sun can illuminate the situation and bring discernment and clarity to you. On June the 26th to the 30th, Mercury will move in a trine from your second house of money to Saturn in your house of career. Saturn, since last March, has been helping to stabilize your long-range career plans and goals by also creating a sense of authority, mastery, and expertise. And you're at the top of a sense of a masterful loop of success in your career. Some of you may step away, step down, or retire in the next 2 years from what you're doing because you've hit the peak point for yourself. In this moment of time, with this energy of Saturn in the top of the sky and the flow energy from Mercury in the sign of Cancer, and this is happening at 18 degrees of your second house, there is a possible really good opportunity financially regarding career and work matters, and it can be very golden commercial success coming through at that time. Contracts, negotiations with bosses, superiors, a chance to work with a more established company, a chance to be more established in your career. So maybe a level of raise or promotion can happen, or a new level of success. This is stuff that looks really good for you around June 26th to the 30th. And all that same time frame, June 26th to 30th, we also see Venus in a sextile to her cosmic lover Mars. That is powerfully synergistic and good because it hits your money house, right? This is where Venus is traveling, your second house, Cancer, and she looks back over her shoulder at Mars up in your 12th. This can be a real sizzle of financial success, especially if you do things like foreign revenue and foreign shored land monies. This can be a real sizzle around some kind of positive new direction and decisions and actions you're taking to eliminate certain foods from your diet that no longer work, or possibly to go off and have a facial procedure in a foreign country for cosmetic reasons. I kid you not. And that could look like some of you might try that between 26th of June and the 30th. And then on the very end of it all, on the 30th of June, there is Mercury and a sextile to Uranus. Mercury in Cancer, your money house. Uranus is surprise in your 12th house, a sudden surprising opportunity financially involving foreigners, foreign places, and foreign lands. A sudden surprising or exciting bit of email, text, or phone call in regards to things that I just mentioned. But it's all bottom line impacting your money in a positive way. Alrighty. 12th house can bring some connections to family origin monies, legacy wealth, and there may be some of that too. And ongoing during the entire month, Jupiter, Venus, Sun, and Mercury are like mostly, well, Jupiter especially, in a whole sign flow to Juno in the 4th house, and some unexpected developments around contracts, leases, and tenancies, or home and home property matters that are very positive thanks to Jupiter. But it is that kind of, as soon as we get Venus and Mercury in your 2nd house of possessions, which is, as I said earlier, they're both together there, kind of like June the 18th and July the 3rd, flowing to Juno, the goddess of agreements, in your 4th house. There's a lot going on that could suggest some property purchases, sales, or buying, or something that you really want for your home, or agreements with people in your home that are very profound. So let's see what happens, guys. Let me know. Give me the lay of the land. Some people are so gnarly on YouTube. They go, I'm tired. I can't take the eye picking. The eye picking. I have such dry eyes. Right? I inherited dry eye syndrome from my dad. I know all the hacks. I'm working on it. And so rather than continually drop eye shit into my eyes when I'm here on YouTube with you glaring into the light here, I just sometimes have to touch my eyes, and sometimes I touch my face, and sometimes I touch my hair. I'm just a person. Like, you have something nice to say, just don't say it. So Geminis, thank you for listening. And don't forget, Mercury webinar, link below, Cosmic Moonshine newsletter below. Patreon community gets this early access ad-free. This is May the 7th. You want that kind of content without the ads this early in the game, please consider signing up. Chiron, the Key to Purpose, and Synastry, Are You My Person, are 2 courses I'm giving away for free. My cheapest tier is only $5 a month, and you get those courses to keep forever after trying me out. Different tiers have different perks, certain number of readings with me, certain number of Zoom meetings with me every month, and it depends on your tier. And the content of those meetings is different for each level of engagement. You can always change your tier and move up and down at any time. You know the drill. All the information I just talked about is in my description box below. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful month of June.